Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me the tide is in front on us like real weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed, begging the generations remember our story.
Good morning, Grand Rising. Peace and blessings, glory, peace, and honor to the Most High. I hope all is well with the people. Get to your destination safe. Don't lose yourself. Don't crash out. Get that negativity up out of your system. Today is a day the Lord made. We should celebrate. We should be grateful to be here amongst the land of the living. I want to give a shout out to my poets, my writers, content creators, so on and so forth. You know, I got to give love where love is due. I just had a quick little conversation with someone who was an integral part of the show, and I just thank God that they're okay. Shout outs to Ms. Kim. Hopefully things are working out on your behalf. Yeah, you see the title. You see the clip. It's not very long, but it's self-explanatory. Check your email, by the way, Miss Sid. Yeah, we got a lot to cover here. I'm gonna try my best, to be as neutral on this as possible. All right. Let's get it in. Let's get it in. Sid, what's up? What's up?
Hello. I saw the topic and I couldn't resist because I always find like one of my guilty pleasures is watching people that just have an egregious number of kids, because I have 2 and I don't know how people can do it. So that, and I won't be able to make it to the later one tonight because I'm going to a poetry event, but I just had to jump in on this one.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, the way that people kind of celebrate this stuff. Hold on. The way people try to celebrate and make things like this a popular characteristic or a desirable one is absolutely insane to me. So I'm curious to hear what you got to say about this. I'm gonna run the clip. Initial thoughts. We'll go from there. When I saw the title on Instagram, I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no. What the hell? All right. Okay. Yeah, we got to talk about it. This is ridiculous. So I'm going to go ahead and run it, and we'll just take it from there.
Yeah.
You said that Mother's Day. That was 4 months ago.
Yeah, I got 3 babies on the way.
You got 3 babies on the way right now?
Yeah.
All right, what's the count right now? Because I think last time there was some debate whether it was like 23 or 25.
Yeah, like 31.
31.
31.
Bro, you was here last year.
Yeah.
So you
I know I move fast.
So you had another 5, 6 in the last year?
Yeah, I bust fast.
And I went back and I watched our first interview. It was in 2019. You was at 10.
Ooh, yeah.
So let's see, that's 20 kids you've had since then in 6 years. Good 3 a year. And you got 3 on the way. Bro, you populating the earth right now.
Type shit.
He's populating the earth.
Has like Elon Musk vibes. Oh man.
This is a horrible thing in the Black community. I mean, just in general, overall, the level of immaturity within this alone to me is off-putting. It's very troubling to me, because how do you have so little concern or care about how this is going to affect everybody involved?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention being in front of a camera, you smoking, you have all of the characteristics or all of the visible features that they would say in a sundown town of a N-word. You make us look horribly bad. I'm speechless. I have no real fundamental thought other than what the fuck. How do you, as a woman, well, shit, that's one. Like, there's too many different things to go over. I mean, what are your initial thoughts before I really go too deep into this shit?
First of all, similar to what you said, I thought his flippant attitude was just appalling. Like, he treats it as if he's like collecting shoes or something like that. He's like, Yeah, I do. I have 19 kids. I had 19 kids then, and you know, I just have more. Like that type of attitude is frankly disgusting because you're raising human beings, and like kids should be somebody that you're proud of, that you're wanting to create into better human beings than even yourself, like that you create a better life for. And having that type of attitude towards your children is going to have an impact on their mental health. Not to mention the fact that they're literally being collected and they're going to have that mentality that, like, I mean, even kids in a classroom or kids who have just 2 or 3 siblings, there's the competitiveness, there's the feeling that somebody's loved more than you, or that people don't care about you because you're not being recognized for whatever. And now you have 33 of them competing for your attention, or arguably, I doubt he's really giving them the attention that they deserve, because I can tell you right now, having 2 kids takes 90% of my time. Like, if I want to write poetry, it has to be at night or in the car or during the few segments of free time that I have. Like, I have to give up a lot just to make sure that I can give myself to my kids. Like, I don't go clubbing. I don't go out to restaurants at all. Like, I think we've gone to a public restaurant maybe once in the last year, or like 2 times. We don't just leave them with a babysitter all the time. We've actually never gotten a babysitter. We've only had like family members watch them if we had something necessary to do. You have to give up things as a parent. You cannot, or if you want to be a good parent, you cannot just expect to live your old life and then tack them on. They should become your priority. They should become everything that you do. Like, unless you're the working parent, which of course that's understandable. People have to work, people have to make money to live. But if your focus is not your children, you should not be having children, because they are fragile human beings for the rest of their life, to be honest. Like, people are fragile, and even adults can be upset by how their parents treat them, even if they're in their 30s and their 40s. And it is our job to be there for them. People that have poor relationships with their parents are affected for the rest of their lives. And that also affects how they work in the workforce, that it affects how they raise their kids. It affects how they treat their spouse. It affects how they treat their friends. And to have such a blasé attitude towards his kids, treating them like they're trophies, is frankly disgusting. It's insulting to those kids. And I highly doubt he gives equal attention to all of those kids. I mean, think about it. He has more kids than there are hours in the day. So those kids are not getting the attention that they need from him. And as you said, it's also a disgrace to the community, to the Black community, because you guys already have a stigma around, like, oh, those welfare moms just having babies so they can take money from the government and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's already these beliefs held by awful people and racist people. And undoubtedly, this is going to contribute to some of those mindsets. They're just going to be like, look, see, that's all they care about. And then oh, you're repopulating the earth. Yeah, you are adding a lot of children to the world, but is that what we want? That is not what we want. We want to have people that are well-grounded and like normal minded. And that's not going to happen if you have more kids than you could possibly even dedicate your time to. I've watched plenty of videos of the like trad wives. We have 13 kids, And I've seen videos where like kids are literally sleeping in a closet on the floor, in like 2 kids in one bed or 3 kids in one bed, and those are only with like 12 of them. Like, are they even all in the same house? Do you just have like 3 different houses with all the kids separated? Like, how does that even work? So, yeah, those are my initial thoughts. You're on mute.
This is what separates the rich from the poor. There's a lack of discipline here, a lack of self-control, and there's some psychological stuff that's happening within this as well, because, well, he's not the only man walking the earth that moves and operates this way. I've seen other stories where there's people who have 10, 12, 19. I mean, what I'm getting is that your focus is not really on what it should be. And as a result, this is going to bite the children in the butt later on. It's definitely a mental thing. It's an upbringing thing. It's something that is nearly, well, let me rephrase that. It's not scrutinized enough. There's no way in the world that if I am a woman and I'm aware of your track record and history, would I be signing up for that? How does that happen? And then it makes me think about how you hear these conversations about these specific groups of women saying they don't want a guy with kids, or they want a specific type of dude. But then again, you look at it and you see examples like this, and it's like, man, if y'all don't get out of here with that bull, y'all lying. You're lying. Clearly, there's a disconnect here. Because if that was the case, why the hell is this man at 31 and counting? Let me ask you a question. Do you agree or disagree with the women say one thing but mean something else philosophy?
I mean, in general, if you say something, you should mean it. You should be truthful. You should be honest. Also, the fact that he's 31, like, I'm 30. He's had a classroom of kids in the same amount of time that I've been alive. Like, oh man, why? But yeah, I just in general, no matter who it is, you should not be saying things out loud if you don't mean it. I mean, it's immoral, and it's going to ruin your relationships at some point.
I think we all hypocrites, and we contradict ourselves all the time. But this right here, you need therapy. I'm sorry, but you need therapy. For the women who are attracted to, like, you can be attracted to whoever you want, but don't then turn around and say you're not attracted to this, but you end up with that. Or you got to be 6, 7, make $1 million, 2, 4, 5, 6 million a year. And you got to be this and that. But you sitting up here slumming it with rappers or folks that are inspiring to be a rapper or a scammer or something. Or is it just the fact that you just want somebody who is wanted by other people? And as long as they are attractive to other people, somewhere in your cross wiring, that makes them valuable. Forgetting about the principles and the things that come with having all of these human beings roaming the earth. There's nothing wrong with having a big family if that's what you want, as long as it's within the same household. This right here, nah. I reject it in the Black community. This is why HIV is so prevalent. This is why these STDs are spreading like wildfire. This is exactly why we have such a problem taking any of us serious in the community whatsoever, because all y'all think about is sex, man. That's it. Sex, money, and drugs. That's your leader. That's your idol. I don't even know who he is. This is the first time I ever heard of him. I'm just automatically assuming that he's a rapper. That whole clout thing, that shit real. People do whatever for validation and attention. If you famous or you known in the community, you want to be attached to it because somehow it makes you feel special or it makes you feel important. Even though their history and their track record is not that great. Like they known for terrorizing stuff, destroying stuff. They don't take care of their body. Their body is filled to the brim with alcohol and all types of foreign substances that's not even naturally supposed to be in your body in the first place. And then you get on the internet and y'all want to talk all this condemnation to everybody else, acting all high and mighty. And this is right, and you're the same ones that's looking for a free paycheck. You don't ever have to work again. You don't want to worry about nothing because you got your NBA player, you got your NFL player, you got your rapper. Now you don't have to get off your ass and go get a job because you're going to make sure that they take care of you for the rest of your life. It ain't even got nothing to do with the kids. So you got men and women who they're not practicing safe sex. They're not responsible enough to consider the futures of these kids and how they're going to be brought up. You ain't getting help. You're not getting therapy. And you're just bragging and laughing about it. The guy who was sitting here interviewing him, he laughing and kikiing about it as if something was cute. Nothing about that is cute. Ain't nothing about this a good look on black men or black women. You ain't even telling him the truth. No type of accountability from him. You're just joking with him. But you know deep down inside that this shit right here is absolutely ridiculous. Let me see some. This had 31,734 likes. Why did you like that? What I thought the concept of liking or retweeting or reposting something was because it had value to it, or it was something to highlight. There's nothing about this to like. You telling me 31,000 people like this? Seriously? Now, let me go to some of these comments.
This makes me think of a video that I've watched with my husband. It's by Jay Nadash. The title of the video is Black Moms When You Bring a Girl Home. And the specific line that I picture is towards the end where she was like, what do you even see in her? Because she had certain, behaviors. And he's like, well, she's so nice. She's a good mom. And his mom's just like, what? How many kids she got? 5. Oh my God. It just makes me think of that. And that's just with the 5 kids. It also, kind of what you're touching on, where this is undoubtedly for the attention. It makes me think of I was watching this YouTube video earlier where they were talking about this one YouTuber that uses OF and YouTube, TikTok to fish for money. Like literally 90% of her videos, she's talking about how much money she spent, but how worried she is about her rent. And then asking like, oh, you should donate, go on my OF. I'm going to release these videos. I'm going to tell all. And she like filmed herself pretending to be drunk, pretending to take drugs, like when she very clearly is not. And all of this is just to get money. So a lot of people are saying like she lives in Beverly Hills in one of those big houses. And supposedly she brags that her house she's spending $25,000 a month on it. And people are so sick of it. They're so tired of it. They can just see that she's doing this for attention. And this is the downside of social media, is it's making people do really crazy things that hurt other people or hurt themselves just for the views, just in the hopes that they'll get more money and get more fame out of whatever they're doing. And I highly doubt it. Like, as a mom, and knowing other moms, if you truly love your kids, you're going to stop when you hit your limit, because you know that what's best for your kids is for you to be there for them, for you to be able to give them everything they deserve. And there's a certain point where you're not going to be able to give them everything. You can't give them all your time. You can't give them all your money. You're going to be broke on the streets unless you're famous. And it makes me think of the quote. I forget the original quote, what it originally referred to, but it was something along the lines of, if it's rich people, it's a trend. If it's poor people, it's a crime. Because like wealthy people that make a lot of money can get away with a lot more because they can pay for services. They can pay to get private tutors. They can pay to have other people care about their children for them. And I just think that's terrible, because kids know who their parents are. Like, I'm adopted, and I've known I was adopted my whole life. Like, my parents didn't drop the bomb on me when I was older, so I always knew that I was adopted. But I always had that deep-seated gnawing before I met her that I was missing something. Like, I wanted to meet her so badly. I would obsess over it. I would think excessively. I would even, like, when I finally got a hold of the internet, I would search her based on what I thought her name was. And like, my mom would tell me her first name, but I didn't exactly know how to spell her last name at the time. And I would spend hours upon hours trying to find her, because kids know who their parents are. There's a connection, a biological connection to your family, and you can sense that. There's a reason why people who lose their parents have trauma. Even if you don't get along with your parents, even if they're terrible, most people are going to feel some type of regret, remorse, or agitation that they're gone, and wishing that it could have been different. And I can guarantee that there's a number of those kids in that family that feel something, some form of trauma, because they feel abandoned, they feel like nobody cares about them, they feel like nobody's paying attention to them, or they feel like they're not worth anything because views are more important than the time with the kids. And I find it really hard to believe, especially, I don't know what he does for a living, but with whatever he's doing, I find it really hard to believe that he's giving all of his time to the kids. He's definitely doing other things. And it also makes me think of the famous family, 19 kids and counting, the Duggars. Multiple of their kids have either cut them off or have come out with various things about how they were treated and the problems they experienced in that household. There's a number of those parents that have had 15 plus kids, and afterwards the kids come out, and it could be as bad as like they've literally been being abused. There was the mom recently, I forgot what her name was. She had like blonde hair, but she ended up getting arrested for how she was treating her children. So it's not believable, at least in my mind, that you're going to be able to take care of those children to the best of your ability. You're not going to be able to give everything to those kids that they need. And we already know what child abandonment or abandonment issues will do to a child. And he's opting for that. And he really doesn't seem to have any interest in stopping what he's doing. And unlike females who have biological limitations to how many kids he can have or she can have, he does not. And he could literally have kids until the day he croaks. So he could literally end his life with like 200 children. And they, like, I mean, even in a class of 30 kids, you're never going to know all of your classmates. You never will get along with all of the people. And to have that many kids, you're bound to have a bunch of them that are unhappy, that don't want to be there, that wish they could be with different parents, or wish they could at least be around people that care and understand them. So I just feel so bad for those kids. And also, I wonder how many baby mamas are there? Like, and also, what is wrong with the women that are choosing to be with him? Like, and that's what I was thinking of that video. Because if I met a guy, like if I met my husband and he told me right off the bat, like, oh yeah, I already got 4 kids, I'd be like, okay, it was nice meeting you. Because I knew I wanted kids, but I don't want everyone else's kids too. Like, I want my own kid, and it really says something about a guy that has a bunch of other kids. At the very, very least, he has commitment issues. And I was not about to hook myself up to a wagon that couldn't commit to me, because I don't need that kind of stress. I wanted somebody that I knew was going to be there for me and my kids. I always knew that I wanted kids, and I always knew that I wanted a monogamous relationship. And I mean, if you can't even commit to 3 kids, you're going to try and commit to 33 kids. What makes you think they're going to commit to you, a single person, in the relationship? What is going on through those women's minds? Like, they must be after money, to be honest, money or fame, for them to want that. I find it hard to believe that any person can willingly want 33 kids for anything more than attention. Mute.
Did it again.
One of those days.
Yeah, it is. It is. It happens. I'm good for a couple though. I gave y'all a couple weeks without it. Remember when we were talking about the whole EBT thing? Yeah, this right here is one of the reasons why I said I don't really feel sorry for some people. Because imagine a dude looking for Jessica Alba or a Shakira and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna marry her. I'm gonna knock her up, and then she's gonna have to take care of me." Do you know how that sounds? That's absolutely asinine. You lazy as shit. You really going through therapy. That's all I'm saying. I said it earlier. A lot of this shit is mental. Yeah. Extremely mental. There's no way in the world that you were raised to believe that this level of dysfunction is okay. There's nothing about this that I could see having a positive ending to it. Billionaires don't even have it going on like this. Maybe they do. Maybe I stand corrected. I think dude got him beat though. Like he probably got his thing going on, but I'm certain he ain't got his type of money either.
I think he's up to 17 kids. And I think most of his are surrogates or something like that. I don't think they're actually I don't think he's actually participating in raising them.
Surrogates as in artificial insemination. He doesn't actually deal with them in the traditional sense.
I think what it is, I don't remember exactly because it's been a while since I've read about him and all of his craziness. But I think what it is like he donates and then he makes sure he keeps track of them and just sends them money. I'm pretty sure that's what the arrangement is. Because I know at least one of his daughters is like, I don't want anything to do with you. So I don't think he's actually there for them. I think he's just paying them to be like, yeah, these are my kids. See, I'm helping them. And I kind of wonder if this is what this guy's doing too, where he's just like, well, I buy you stuff. I'm your parent. Which also brings up another point that I was thinking of. How do you afford that? Like, groceries alone for us is like $500 a month if we're lucky. Like, with the price of groceries nowadays, like every single grocery haul, which is like yogurt and fruit and like frozen vegetables, is still like $150 for a family of 4. Like, how are you doing that for a whole swimming team? Like, I'm like, what?
This is why we'll never be taken serious 100%. I hate the fact that when you associate a doctor with a rapper and you put them on the street, you just automatically assume that they're the same type. No, they might be the same complexion, but they don't have the same lifestyle whatsoever. But because of that skin complexion, you just automatically associate these. We got to stop doing that. I don't know if he's doing it because he ain't gonna live long because of his lifestyle and he wants his legacy to live on. I don't know. I just think shit is crazy. You need help, bro, and these women need help too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Look, y'all had to have had a conversation with each other. There's no way you're looking at 10, 15, 20 women. All of you had to have had conversations with each other. Y'all talk. Y'all probably hang out and everything. That's what it looked like. Like they all agreed that we're going to do this. There was no relationship with none of them. Maybe one or two of them, I bet. The rest of them, no. It feels as if all of it was just understood. They had a conversation. They was pretty much down with it. I just, it's hard for me to believe that he just, I don't know. I get a headache just thinking about that shit. That's nasty as hell. Imagine if you would have contracted something that you can't get rid of and then passed it along to all them kids. Y'all play around with y'all life and y'all body way too much.
Soon we're gonna have this as a like social media challenge. See how many kids you can have by the time you're this age. It also kind of makes me think of like the Mormon sister wives, that he just like collects women and then they all are happy family together with their like 40 collectively. And also I was about to say exactly what you said, that like, what if you bring some certain illnesses into the family? I'm like, some of those can be passed to the kids as well. Like, that's, I mean, if they all live together, that house is nasty, I bet. Like, I have 2 kids and a husband, and I already spend like 50% of my day making sure it doesn't look like a bomb exploded in my house. And by the end of the day, it still looks like a bomb exploded in my house because my kids are like, oh, look, you put all my toys away. Cool. Flip them all over on the ground. I'm like, and this is just with 2 kids. Like, I remember when my son was 2.5 and my daughter was about 6 months old. I literally, like, my husband was overseas and I was by myself, and it was at the time when I couldn't drive. I just had to like order everything in and whatnot. I called my mother-in-law in tears because I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is like, they're asking for my attention at every moment. They're either crying or they're yelling at me, or they're like trying to like, mom, 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 mom. What? Can you get cracker? And and that's just with 2 kids. And I have the support of my family, and I have the desire to have these kids and to love them and to give that time. And I do work on myself to make sure I'm the best for my kids and that I make myself the most emotionally, mentally stable as I can for them. And I just can't see somebody having that type of, like, I hate to say this, but like looking at him as a person, like just judging him based off his appearance, he doesn't look like somebody that's very selfless to me. Like anybody, this is obviously not true across the board, but people that are more worried about how they look and how they're perceived and are focused more on their appearance, both to people and like physically appearance, they have less interest in other people, and you're going to pass that on to your kids. They're going to feel it. And I find it extremely hard to believe that he is just super loving and wanted to have a lot of kids because he loves kids. Like the way how flippant he was with like, yeah, I got that many kids, 3 more on the way. They're trophies to him. They're not his kids. They're not human beings to him. They are additions to his social media profile. It's like the same moms that have Instagrams just so they can post all the pictures of their kids in questionable outfits, just so they get engagement on their content, regardless of what that does to their children. I don't believe it. I don't care what he says. He doesn't love those kids in the way he thinks he does.
No. Nah. Everything about this is reckless. That's all. This is what happens when you give people who have never had money or success. That's all. People that have never been taught how to move with humility with anything. They're always careless like this. And there's a lot of people who agree with us. They absolutely understand exactly what you and me are speaking about. And I could care less about what he's doing. Like the parent, I just feel bad for them because they didn't ask for that. They didn't sign up for that bull, So that's all I gotta say about it, man. I just thought that shit was crazy, man. 31,000 likes. That shouldn't have had no likes whatsoever. Anybody who liked that, you probably think like that too.
Not to mention, just watching those videos, even if it's out of outrage, you're still supporting that and promoting that in the algorithm, because we all know TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, like all of them, they promote people by how many views they get, not by how much people actually like the content. And so if you are like, that's why rage bait works so well, because if you do things that are outrageous enough, you're going to drive viewership to your profiles, and the algorithm isn't going to be able to differentiate people having toxic behavior over people that are promoting wholesome content. And sadly, wholesome content does not get promoted very much on social media because, one, most people don't want to do that, because sadly, people that are usually would be willing to do wholesome content are busy with their lives. Like, they don't have time, or they don't want to spend the time putting their life all over social media. It's always the people, or it's almost always the people that are seeking that type of attention. As I said the other day, like record numbers of children, 9 out of 10 kids these days say they want to be a social media influencer. And that's just depressing. Like, we have a whole generation of children, and probably multiple generations of children coming, that believe their only worth is to get likes and views on social media, that their value is how many followers they have and not what they can contribute to society. And that's why I tend to only watch people that are educating the public. Like, they may use videos of those types of people, but I will never directly watch those videos because I don't want to promote that type of stuff. It's sad because I think there is a lot more people in the world that want to see the best in people. Whenever I see the comments on those negative types of videos, they're trying to get them to do the right thing. That woman that I said earlier that uses really crazy behavior just to get engagement. A lot of people on her videos are telling her, like, get a smaller house, like get therapy, do these things to help yourself, like stop doing this stuff to yourself, because people do care. That's part of the reason why we watch this stuff, because at least in my experience, I like seeing dysfunctional behavior in that it helps my moral compass. It helps me understand what types of behaviors that exist out there so I can make sure that I'm not acting in a certain way. And I mean, it is entertaining because a large quantity of us are like, what the hell is this? Why would you even act like that? But it is a good way to kind of, I don't know, understand human nature. And by understanding the people on the crazy side of life, you can understand even more about yourself. Because you kind of have to understand both sides of the psychology spectrum. Because if you're only looking at people that are like righteous and good and whatever, you'll become desensitized to the fact that not everyone is that way. Because as I said before on the stream, um, your psychology is primed to pay attention to the things that you see the most. And if you see positive content all the time and you don't expose yourself to realistic things that happen, that's why 100% why I always research history, because um, by understanding the things that people are doing wrong and how badly people can act, you become more realistic about life. And it can also protect you, because people that don't really understand how wacky people can be are more likely to be taken advantage of, because they just assume that everyone has good intentions and, oh, well, everyone's religious, oh, everyone cares about each other. And it's not the case. So I've always felt that you have to educate on both ends. You have to see the people that are nuts. You have to see the people that are normal, because it can give you a good way to like refine, as I said, your moral compass, and also understand how people might see you based on behaviors, based on how you dress, based on how you promote yourself. And it can kind of give you an idea of how you can make yourself a better person and what not to do. So I just think it's really sad that a lot of this stuff, a lot of this content is pushed so easily into the public eye just because, oh, well, they get views. So why not? Like, who cares? We're getting money from brands. We're getting money from engagement. We're getting brand or money from the donations that they're sending you, which I'm assuming they get a small cut of. Like,
Right.
it's just sad. And it really speaks to the deterioration of our standards and what we value. Because, like, if this happened in the 1950s, most people would reject that. Most people would cut you out of society for acting that way. They potentially would even try to like arrest you or even harm you because of those decisions that you made. People like that were ostracized in the past, but now we celebrate them as like, wow, look at this really cool guy that's living this crazy life and whatever. Like, look at him having all these kids. And as that guy said, populating the earth. Like, we don't need more children on earth. I'm sorry, but we already have too many people on the planet as it is. The capacity of our earth is like 2 billion people, and we're already almost at like 9 billion. I can't stand when this stuff is promoted. And again, I think it's super offensive to both the kids and to people that care about their children to have such a, we're just going to keep having him. Who cares? And he's only 31. Like, oh my God. I was hoping he was like at least 40, but no. But no, he's my age.
Send an asteroid immediately. I want to say thank you for pulling up this morning. I hope you enjoyed your session later, because I missed them. The community ain't really communicating or being community, so I'm still trying to figure that out myself, but I hope you do enjoy yourself. Send my regards to the fam. Blessings to the people who pulled up this morning. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a blessed weekend. We are out. Talk to you soon. Oh, I got your messages. I will be responding to you soon. I got you covered before the day is over with. All right. Talk to y'all later.
Have a good day, guys. See you Monday.
mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I, my ancestors speak, they tell me the tide isn't run on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep.